Wonder, how did he get up there? Who sent him up there? Ugh, these freezes, arg. Fortunately, this one wasn't too risky, though. Board. We have Carrick the engineer and Jedvin the pilot ready. We can switch on over to... Oh. There we go. I tend to tap the RCS in this case because the SES is very wasteful with the RCS. Not that we need it. We have plenty of monopropellant. Look at that. We've hardly used any. So we could actually waste it, but okay. All we need now is to decelerate. And again, we could get below 50. Let's get below 40. That would already capture us. Now, unlike before, we haven't used most of this, so this is actually pretty much a waste. It's actually quite a pity. But what we could do in this case is we could jettison this stage. Now this one will burn up in re-entry. So we get to enjoy that, but when we start reaching a lower periapsis, we can just use all the fuel we have here to bleed off more speed. Thank you guys, thank you. It's good that rescuing is becoming standard operation. And these aren't even Kerbals that I've stranded somewhere. I mean, be honest. The space program has had 0 casualties. Now, the aerodynamics program, okay, different matter altogether, but the space program, pretty good. We're gonna try, this might be suicidal. We have 1700 delta V. We have a speed of 2100. We can pretty much bleed off all the speed we want. There we go. We're just trying to get a specific landing here. Why not? I have no idea whether this is safe, actually. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Yeah, these stutters have definitely been happening more since I've installed FAR, I think. Sadly, as much as I like FAR, Ferrum Aerospace, I'm going to try and uninstall it. Okay, as you can see, we're 1500 meters per second. We're of course increasing because we're falling. We're going to be hitting the atmosphere, so this part is going to be experiencing quite a bit of... There we go. Of aerodynamic thermal forces, so right at this point, we're just going to be firing that engine and slow down, because we're in fact going to be slowing down so much that we're not going to be experiencing too many of these forces. Don't get me wrong, these things are going to get ripped off by aerodynamic forces. There we go. Broken by aero forces, but that's okay, we didn't need those. Now, we're not going to be able to land this. These parachutes, they're not equipped for this kind of landing. Not for this weight. But I believe these toggle info. Still dangerous to deploy. There we go. Get a crew report. Get that. Oh god. Decouple. Whew. That was lucky. These are now safe to deploy, so deploy them. That was... yeah, we've deployed them in... what now turns out to be a meteorite storm. This might turn out to be just cluster bombs now. It's okay, it's a desert. Nobody lives here. They're gonna be fine. Oh yeah, that engine is not for landing. No, 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 no. We're just making use of what we have to bomb the desert coast. Let's not make the same mistake as we did just now. There we go. Look at that. Again, that's what the drogue chute is for. It's not us. It's not us. We're okay. Drogue chute's just to prevent the G-forces from getting in the red. Okay, imagine being the Kerbals in here and hearing that around you. The remains of your ship. What could have happened to you? That is the antenna, the relay. That's nice. Where is its shadow? I want to see if I can pinpoint it falling. There we go. There's shadow. We did make it into a small satellite rain. Oh, there we go. There's its shadow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's land this baby. Owen Wilson would say, wow. I have no Owen Wilson impression. Pilot and engineer. Let's have a look at how much they're enjoying this. Look at these little fellas. I like the detail of this. Look at this. Exactly where the hatch is. Even has the flag on the inside. I love it. Okay, fast forward. We saved them, and we still have a rover to land on Minimus. Good thing I didn't remove that heat shield. At a crew report. Imagine how hot it would be if the capsule did not have the air conditioning on. Ridiculous. Hi there, fella. Get an EVA report. It's so hot here. The feet are burning even through the spacesuit. Surface sample. Lots of sand and rocks. You're thankful you've been in climate-controlled environments because it looks hot out here. Sand is dry and loose, and looks like it's going to take some effort to clean your gear afterwards. Board that baby. And recover that vessel. Satellite rain, indeed, Venom. That is co-op now. Satellite rain is... I've had a lot of fun with that one. I think it's a reasonable update of the Syndicate series. It's not... It's... Yeah, it's the same, and it's different. It's interesting. It's a good update, I think. Kara Kerman advanced to level 1. Excellent. We completed a number of missions now. We rescued him from the orbit, and we returned him to Earth. Kerbal. Meantime, yeah, some missions were spawned. Let's go to our Minimus rover. That is one we want to land. Thank you very much, Venom. Thank you very much. The ground control over here and mission control is thankful for the compliments and quite pleased that these missions are going so well right now. Okay. A wholly different situation from the Kerbals that we've now saved. As you know, in 6 days, this rover will approach Minmus. I'm gonna see if I can find Minmus. Let's see. Oh, whoa, 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 didn't want that. Oh, that was the problem, of course. This is the direction we're going in, so we are falling somewhere in this... No, we're just too far away. We are falling in the direction of Minmus, at which point... Come on, Minmus. Clickety click. No? You don't wanna? It doesn't wanna. That's okay though. At which point, when we reach Minmus, we are going to do a capture burn. See if we can find Minmus. Oh wait, is that Minmus? No, that's a different planet. Wait. That might be Minmus. I think it is. It's getting a little bit larger than the planet seems to be. Or are we completely wrong here? I'm not used to distant object enhancement. That's the Mun there, that is Kerbal. The other rover is still getting us messages. We need to turn that off. The Jexus 2B is getting annoying. Okay, we are still 2 days away. So we have plenty of time. There we go, that was Minmus. See, every time the Jexus rover is now giving us messages of, oh, my batteries, no. Oh, in the meantime, the biome scan of the Mun is also being completed. Remember we had those things rotating the entire time? 75% has now been scanned, that gets us another 100,000. Those things have been going on in the background. Let's have a check. So, this is the Mun, the biome map, that we are now refreshing. And look at that baby, that seems like 100%. We have 100% biome map. Now see how useful this is. These Midland craters, imagine having to try to find which ones those are exactly. The Northwest crater, the Northern Basin, the Southwest crater. You just need to know that these are biomes. So that's why, like this biome in the middle, a little bit of Midlands between highlands and highland craters. These are largely scanned. It still needs some swaths before it is 100%, but then we can start analyzing the data and sending that back to Kerbal. First Mun landing was right there in the far side crater. Let's check Kerbal, because if you recall, a while ago that was already completed as well. Oh, hey, Alex, it's been stellar. Haha! Time come for this one to slip away. Thank you for streaming, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for hanging out. It has been a lot of fun to have you around. Give it a little attention. Speaking of experience, it tends to work. A little attention to what right now then? Boom, so Kerbal we have also scanned out, and that's 100%, so that one we can analyze and return. But look at this, a southern ice shelf, I think we have that one. But there's also Badlands, for instance. You just need to know it's there to even be able to find it, let alone figure out how to get there. So that's what makes this so darn useful to have. And that's a main reason why I want those satellites. That, all that scanning, that is the ScanSat pack. Because otherwise, without some of these mods, satellites are kind of useless. And also, if you don't have life support, there's no point in sending unmanned missions, because there's no functional difference between sending an unmanned mission and just sending a Kerbal. The only thing is that maybe you don't want to miss out on a Kerbal, have it stranded on a distant planet, because you'd have to get other Kerbals. But otherwise, really, there's no there's no point to sending an unmanned mission. That's why I like the Kerbalism mod. The life support that it gives you makes it more difficult to go other places. That's why we've been so slow. Normally, I would have been exploring the Mun, exploring Minmus loads of times. But because now we have to get life support, we have to be careful about that. It's, I need to be far more slower in my progression, and I need to use satellites far more. Also because our probes have no control unless we have a connection to the Kerbal satellite system. I need to put comm satellites in orbits, I need to get rovers in there to do some of this safe science. It's a lot more varied as far as I'm concerned. And you know, there's more science that you can do from orbit, and that takes a long while, which combined with the life support makes you not want to put a Kerbal in orbit for 80 days, and instead just send a satellite. There we go, delete on close, get that up, point yourself retrograde. Let's check, we have more than enough monopropellant to go crazy with it. We need to burn for 2 minutes according to this thing, wow. We have 11 minutes in this thing and then 1 minute full for the landing stage, so we will be fine. I do want to test maybe what the gear, whether these are activated in the gear. Before we land, we need to remember to lower the wheels. Jexus 2B being a whiny rover? Yup. 3, 2, 1, burn. Now this thing, as you can see, has real good thruster weight so far. Even so, it's a very light. Oh, hello. That's why we hadn't adjusted it. We hadn't adjusted. I was wondering why this was going so slowly. There we go. But we still had it on low for the minor adjustment that we had to do. That's okay though. Okay, I want to see this in orbit, please. There we go, 12k is fine. And at the 12k periapsis, I want to move this closer. Ah, you know what? We could probably go lower than 12k. 8k should be fine. It's a little bit risky. Let's RCS to 10k. At that point, I want to circularize this orbit to 10k. There we go. Remember again, when these flip, that's when you're circularized. The reason I want to circularize this is that it makes it easier for us to pick out a good landing spot. Also feels more realistic this way, says Vaden. Get all the data first, then plan your manned mission. Exactly. Experiment, see how long it takes, see what problems you might run into, and then start adjusting based on what you've learned through your probes. Okay, remember there's nothing slowing us down for this maneuver node right now, so we need to be careful. Also, hold on. Extend. Extend. This is something we would have forgotten, and then in the middle of our landing, we would have had to hope that the gear action group does that. By the way, this is again what I like. I cannot move this thing because it has no reaction wheel unless I have RCS. Which means RCS has an actual serious use. And it's a resource I need to manage. There's a limit to the number of corrections I can make. That's what makes this game far more complex than you played. Yeah, it is the best. Oh god, these little stutters. Now you can start seeing why they can be really dangerous. Wait, is that Whiny Rover? That's the Expeditious. That is Whiny Rover. I've got a bone to pick with you. Maybe I'll dump this on you. So I'm starting to think, maybe for our next Mun landing, for instance, to actually turn off reaction wheels. So we're gonna circularize this using RCS. Wait, why? Oh god! Do you see this? I was wondering, why do we have no control? We have no control because the satellite is on the other end of Minmus. So this is useless. Good thing we weren't doing this on a landing. So in that case, we just need another notification when we're at the periapsis. We're gonna speed or warp. There we go. We have control again. At this point, we could probably also just circularize. Keep an eye on our periapsis height. This is not good. We need to burn radial out, I believe. Oh, no, radial in, apparently. Again, see how wasteful the SAS is with your RCS. 8, 9, 10. There we go. We have, for reasonable practices and purposes, circularized. Now, this thing is going to be moving probably over to here. But I think I want to see if I can land somewhere here. My goal is... Again, those little breaks are messing up my inputs. My goal is to land in these flats. But I think, to be honest, that by the time I'm finally there, they might have rotated away, or... No, we're good. There we go. So that means... This is going to rotate over there. It's going to be tricky. Oh, darn it. Stop that. That means we can move this over here. And that will keep us inside of Kerbin for a large part of the landing. And hopefully also in view of that satellite for quite a while. So, retrograde. We're pointing retrograde, and that is the flat we want to be landing on. Now, let's arrest this motion. We have so much fuel. This is supposed to be purely our lander. We have so much fuel, we can even do it on this thing. So we'll use this to arrest our sidewards velocity, and then we switch to this one to actually land. Let's double check for one last time. Yep, we are going to be landing on a flat. That's good. At least I'm assuming this is a flat. We have a burn of 9 seconds. Are we... Oh, god, that break again. This will be the second rover we're landing on Minimus. So we have some experience in doing this, and we've also perfected this design. Perfected, quote unquote. So we should be good. Remember, as usual, keep your eye on the countdown clock over here. We're going to be burning at about 4 or 5 seconds left, because that gets half before, half after. 7, 3, 2, 1, ignition. I'm switching from retrograde to hold because this one's going to shift upwards. Check our horizontal speed here. We are in fact now increasing our speed. So I can try and lower this with RCS. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nah. So we've nearly arrested our horizontal speed. Now at this point I could use as much as I can of the delta V we have here, this 800, but we don't need more than 600. So what I'm going to be doing is decoupling this. But remember, we already did this one as an emergency thing, given our previous mistakes where we forgot to extend the antenna. So we have our safety on there, but I'm going to extend these anyway. Remember, this is our actual altitude. We can close this, decouple. So we literally throw that one down. So now we don't have the RCS anymore. We're purely doing this on our engine power. But fortunately, as you can see, the gravity is super low here. Nevertheless, that one has been ejected at quite some speed. So one thing I'm going to be doing, I'm putting my engines at the slowest possible speed here. There we go, so we can rotate. I'm going to be trying to arrest our horizontal movement. I do that because I want to go straight down. And I do that by burning to the side, because that moves that little X onto the dot. Basically, burning moves the retrograde away from your cursor and the prograde towards your cursor. And now we can just gently fall down. Again, this is why it's a little bit cheaty that you can arrest your motion by speeding up, but sometimes it's unavoidable. Now this is saying that my suicide burn is going to be 9 seconds. Our impact, we're impacting in a little over a minute, and if we... There we go, that was our last stage. If we burn full throttle 10 seconds away... The rover Minimus, you are already doing your thing. If we burn full throttle at that point, we will be safe. Right now, I just want to slow down a little bit more. We have so much fuel, we can be incredibly wasteful with our approach. We don't need to do a suicide burn. I just want to slow down a little bit. Now we cannot warp anymore. So just very gently do we go down. Do you see how in this hectic descent, I didn't want to have to worry about, you know, retracting or extending these wheels. That would be too stressful at this point. Okay. We're just gonna softly, gently burn to lower our speed. Remember, this is our real altitude, which is roughly the same as this, because this seems to be surface level. Okay, slowing this down. And we're gonna get a nice, gentle tap. Nice, very slow Happy little landing. These are the moments where those little breaks could kill you.